All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to try to be drawing the Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas, and we're going to be using the Prismacolor colored pencils. If you don't have those, that's fine. Black, brown, there's another black, just they're the same black. There's another light brown, we have a tan color, beige, white. We have a Micron 8, Micron 10, Sharpie, and just a number 2 pencil. So that's what we're going to use. First we're going to just lay out what we're going to do here. So this is where it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you're just kind of laying out the drawing and see what he looks like and try to lay this out. That's all we're doing here. So it comes around like this. Up, tapers in. You see that? I know you have some ripples in here because of what he's made out of. See that? So you just want to lay in something like that. And there's some ripples down here. And this is where you can really get creative, however you remember seeing him. See that? Across like that. And then you can lay in some this fabric. Like that. However you want to lay that in. Something like that. And you can lay in the eyes. Something like that, right? And then the this is kind of all sewn together. You can, if you remember, see that? So what we can do so now we can start. You see that? All right, now we have something to work with, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white, and I want a little bit of highlights. I'm going to have the light coming this way, so you might see some of this under here. Now, I'm not pressing super hard. We're just going to lay in, and that's what's nice about the gray paper. We're just going to lay in some highlights here, right along the edge, and then we can fine tune that when we put the colored pencil on top later on. Okay. Hopefully I can keep this under 30 minutes for you. We're going to just highlight some of this. We might highlight a little bit down here, just drawing little circles. That's all we're doing. Like the circular method. See that? You can highlight this side, could be the shoulder, and then some of this through here. Let's just try some of this, just in case. I will probably wind up making that darker, but let's do just a little bit. It's a lot easier to put it on now than to try to put it on later. Now I know you can use like the jelly pens and the Poscas. I actually have one here. You can do all that. I'm going for more of a colored pencil look today. Maybe we'll see if we need something in there. So now we have some highlights. Okay, now what do we start doing? Well, I want to start going from light to dark. So I'm just going to start coloring in some of this down here. Just start coloring in. some of this stuff. Well, actually, I'm going to use this, the lighter color. Sorry about that. I was thinking there. So maybe we'll start up here, start coloring this in. We're just going to make a nice layer, not pressing too hard. Just going to lay this in little circles. Just going to get something down as a base. And that way, when we lay in our darks, we can leave this light stuff wherever we want. See that? This isn't a big deal here. It's not a big deal. They're going to be dark anyway right there where that brown is. Just laying in the beige, not pressing too hard. There you go. Now, let's come back in here with this. I'm using a very flat side of this, pressing really lightly. Really light. I'm just going to lay in some of this, just to give it a little bit of layering. That's all we're doing. I'm not gonna go the whole way over. I want this light to dark, light to dark. I'll soon be putting on the some pen. That'll be neat. But what I do, what I try to do, is get some of this color down first. Sometimes when you use the microns when you outline, you can go right over top of this real nice. But if you do it the other way, then you're putting colored pencil over top of the line sometimes, and it can affect that. And then you have to go and redo it. And it's, excuse me, it's early in the morning. I just woke up, so hopefully this will turn out all right, because I'm just wanting to get this video out. I was excited to draw, so I didn't even eat breakfast yet. I wanted to get this out. Hopefully you checked out my Jack Skellington one. It's not bad. Just started my channel. Trying to teach you guys what I've learned over the years here and there. I do have a course that's coming out at a bunch of colleges and universities. Excited about that. It's a children's drawing course. It's in just basic, real basic drawing course. And we eventually get into shading, but it's a pretty decent course. So be sure to check that out. And it's for adults too. If you just don't have any drawing skill or very little, I think you'll really like it. We start with the basics. Show you how to hold your pencil and draw straight lines and curved lines. Now, we're starting to get something in there. Now, let's come in here before we get into the micron pens and outlining this a little bit. Let's come in here with a darker brown. And what we'll start to do is, as you can see in here, these creases, it's going to go from dark to light. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if we were to come in here like this, this is what this is going to start to look like. See that? We're going to just lay in a little line, and then we're going real light from left to right, left to right. You see that? That's what we're doing. And then you got these kind of crevices here. We can blend this out. You can turn this a little bit, get a little bit more of the dark. But we're not pressing too hard. If you press too hard with these, they're kind of waxy, and then you get that build up on here, and then you can't do much about that. So we want to tread lightly here. We want to make sure we're just putting light pressure. that. Then we can do some brown into here, over here as well. It's coming in like that. See that? And then we'll start doing here. The light's coming this way, and this is overlapping that, then there's going to be a shadow there. You understand? Press a little harder, just a little bit. See that? All we're doing is we're building. This isn't a rush job. We got to take our time. And we'll see how this plays out up here. And everything doesn't have to be exact like how you think it should be. This is your interpretation of this character. Starting to get some. I'll come down into this white just a little bit. And we'll be able to see those pencil marks enough to do what we need to do. So what I'm trying to do is almost split him in half. All this stuff will be a little bit darker. This will probably get some more brown in here. But we're just getting some penciled down so we can see where we're at. That's all we're doing. Takes time. Just slowly build this pencil up. Again, you press too hard and get yourself in trouble. You just want to make sure you take your time. There's going to be a little bit of shadow around his eye, so we're going to use black for that. We're just using little circles here. Trying to layer this in. What's nice about doing the brown, you can see that once we get some black on that. I'm going to start darkening this up a little bit down here. Since this is on the dark side here. You might notice that this isn't all little circles, and that's okay. You got to feel it out, see what works for you. I like little circles or little ovals. See how you can start to get that dark now. You see that? That's all we're trying to do. Now, another thing you can think of when you're looking at this, if it feels intimidating, is if we can picture it as light to dark or dark to light, think of it as, okay, we're going to do that first. We're going to layer dark to light, and then we go in here and do things like this. Let me need a piece of scratch paper there. Then we can come in here and say, okay, the light's coming this way, and there's some creases in here, right? Let's start laying in some of this dark, right? These shadows. And what we're doing is, you see that we're coming this way, but look at how that's starting to come alive. It's dark right back here, see that? But then when you come this way, I'm barely, I don't know if you can see it on I'm barely pressing, barely. And you can come in here like this, you go right to the top there. We're gonna put some marker on here shortly. Just want to get some of this in for you. You see that? And we can come that way, right? Maybe down here, since this is underneath, we're going to just pull down. See that? And fade that down, right? See that? You can even go back and forth. You see how that's starting to come together? Probably go light here, but maybe right across here I'll start to get a little darker, right? See that? Fade that up. You see, now we're starting to get some depth to that. Okay, now let's do a little bit more, and then we'll lay in some Sharpie and some micron pencil. See this? You could go back and forth like that. So what you could do is on a piece of paper, you could take your pencil, right? Do this exercise right here. You come in here with the, you could do this light brown just for example purposes, but you could come in here like this. Just lay in some, like that, right? That's all this is. You see that? You got highlight and then you got that. Then you could come in here with the black, again, really lightly. And you come in like that. Right? Now we could have used more colors, but just showing you for example purposes. You see that? And you come in here like this. Now, I actually do this exact exercise in my course with a pencil. But you see that? That's how you do that. So if you did it with a normal pencil, it'd be like this. Right? I would come in here and start. I'm going to do it quick back and forth. I don't normally do it like this, but this is how you would do it. See that? Then you come in here like this. You slowly go that way, right? Looks like it's layered, right? You see that? Now watch. Depends on where the light's coming from. But let's say it's coming this way. You could come in here like this. Look how that, it's like magic, right? See that? Those little lines. And that's why I show you, look, you gotta know how to draw a line first. You gotta know what, this way, nobody should be drawing a line really this way. That's unnatural. You rotate your paper so you can pull lines naturally. You're already writing letters like that, right? So why not draw like that? So you can come in here like this. See that? And you can just slowly get that to look like, I mean, realistic. Anything realistic, whatever this could be. That's how you could do that. You could come in here with little circles if you want. It's whatever you want. There's a defect in the paper there. This is just regular printer paper, but that's how you can do that. See that? And you could keep going on. Now this is a number 2 pencil. If I took my 9B, you can get this to look even more realistic. See that? Come in here with that. Okay, so this is, I just wanted to show you this because that's what we're essentially doing right here. Okay? All right, now let's get back to this black here. Okay, let's come in here and, but I wanted to show you that principle there of that. See this now? It's all about layering. I'm coming in here and pressing a little harder now. Okay. Maybe I want to come across to here. And what we're going to do is, once we get this bottom done, I'm going to lay in that marker in his mouth there. Okay. That way we can get that. Now I get excited when we start to put that down. Now, this is where they kind of converge, so we can come in here like this and we can just make it all black, right? With a little bit of darkness on each side so that it looks more, see that? Kind of like that. We can leave it like that for now. What we're doing is we're just getting things laid in. That's all we're doing. Again, the light's coming this way. Yeah, I hope you hang out till the end. It takes patience. If you're serious about drawing, you could definitely learn some things. Tell your friends. And trying to just be natural. Trying to teach you in the best way possible. the way I would want to be taught, right? Try to teach you some things that'll help you become a better drawer. Drawing is fun. So let's see what we can do here. Let that light, I'm gonna make this a little bit darker here. See that? Just layering. So let's go ahead and come in here. See what happens. So I'm gonna come in here with my 8 so that it's a real fine tip. So I'm just gonna follow along. I'm gonna show you what we can do with this then. I think you're really gonna like this, and then it'll give you a little idea of what we're gonna do the rest of the, and we'll come in here like this. Rotating my paper. It's a lot easier to draw that way. Now, let's see if we can come in here with the Sharpie. Not mess this up. Brand new Sharpie here, so we should have a decent tip. Now, what we could do, so if you're worried about it, come in here with the same one you just did. Just outline this edge a little bit more. See that? Then you don't have to worry about it. And you can color inside the box, so to speak, right? Then I'm going to show you when we're done here with this. You'll see that the Sharpie's going to leave some marks, like lines. I'm going to show you how to get rid of them. Found it by accident. I just tried it. I taught myself how to use colored pencils. I usually draw with a colored pencil with marker over top of, colored pencil over top of marker. And I'm like, okay, these markers have some lines in them. How can I smooth it out? I took a colored pencil and went over it, and I'm very, very happy with the result. I'm going to show you. We're going to do that. We're going to let this dry a minute before we do it. So I'm just coloring in here in little circles. That's all we're doing. This is starting to come together. I really like how that looks. And this might not be the exact color of how the character looks, but this is the way I remember it. All right, so you see that? Now we're getting somewhere. Now, while that dries, let's see what we can do up here, okay? I'm gonna see if we can get a little bit more brown in here. Just a little bit more before I go to the black. Take this black colored pencil. Watch this. Hopefully you can see that, but I'll stop halfway and show you. So if we take this medium pressure and we color over top of this, see that? It's darker, isn't it? More vibrant. That's what I like. So I just take my time. Just go over this. Just taking my time. There's no rushing. You don't have to rush. But this gives it a nice more of a solid look. See that? I like that. See that? Now we're getting somewhere. All right, so let's come in here with the black now, so we can start getting this from to transition from dark to light. Okay, so I'm going to start up here, and we're just going to start getting some black in here. We can transition it then. Let's just start getting some in here. See what we're looking at. You know, you never know until you start laying it down. May as well do it. That's how you learn. If you don't like how you draw it, or you make a mistake, start over. It's not a big deal. It is what it is, right? Just gotta start over. That's how you learn. Many things I've drawn in my life, started drawing it, maybe spent 5-6 hours on it. It just didn't turn out the way I wanted, and started over and did it again until I liked it. You know, so that's how you do it. So you see this here? Transitioning, you see that? Starting to come together. But the key is doing this in layers. It's like anything that you see. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of artists out there that are way, way better than me. And that's okay. I don't claim to be the best. I'm self-taught. I've been drawing for over 40 years, and you know, I'm by far not the best. But I'm sure there's some things that you could learn from these videos, and if they help you, that's fantastic. That's what the whole point is. Just layering this in, but what my point is this and anything else that you see that took a lot of time, it was done in layers. Didn't happen overnight. If you're willing to learn, take your time, it'll be worth it. But you cannot rush. Cannot rush drawing. And what's nice is, you know, this, it's like a burlap bag, so this texture is really nice if we can keep that. I'll show you an option that you can enhance that at the end if you want. Hopefully it won't ruin it, but you can, tell you what, let's come in here and do his eyes. Okay, let's do these eyes. You know, a lot of different ways, you know, you can do these eyes. There's no wrong or right way. It's okay. In here and make them look however you want. And I'm going to color them completely with this. I'm not going to waste time on a Sharpie right now. It's not that big of an area. We're fine. You can go little circles, or you can outline it. You can keep coming, working your way towards the middle. It's up to you. Some people mow their lawn like that, right? You can go along the outside like this and keep going in until you finish, right? But this is exciting. Once we get this laid in, then we can really see what we're doing and fine-tune everything. We'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and go over that with colored pencil. Okay, so let's take this black again. Okay, now there could be some highlights since this is ridged right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a shadow around his eyes here, like that. Let's just draw this around like that. I won't go over too much on that, but I can enhance that by making this part dark. See that? That's how we can do that. Make this part dark. It'll bring that ridge out. See that? That's how you do that. So we make the eyes, around his eyes, dark. See that? You can do that over here too. We gotta be careful with the blending. You know, this is dark in here, and we want it dark around here, but not too much. So probably come in with the brown then, like this. We come in, get some more brown in here, see? Now I didn't put a ton on in the beginning because I knew we could come back and get some in later. Okay, so now that's what we're doing. So we can get some brown in here. See that I'm barely touching that. We'll finish up around the top of the mouth then. Let's get some of this in here. Let's get some of this brown in here. See that? Now it's starting to look like something. All right. So let's go around the edge here on this side. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go a little bit. Let's go real light there. Start to blend this, barely touching it right here. Just trying to get a little bit more black up here. See that? And again, it's all a matter of just coming in here. Now, if you find that you want, in this I don't want it, but if you find when you're doing colored pencil, and it looks like it's down here a little bit, the sharper, you're gonna get more into the paper, because paper has pores. Okay, it has pores. It's not just, it appears smooth, but it's not. So it looks like that. So if you come in here with this flat, you're coming across like that, you're not getting a ton in there. However, if we use the pointed side of the pencil, right, and we come in, we're filling more. Here's a bigger example. We're filling more of this in. So then you're going to have less of. You see how the light's showing through this? It looks porous. That's what I want, so I'm using the flat side. If I wanted it to be smooth, I would be using the pointy side, because it's pointier, it's smaller, it gets in the cracks more. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. Now, let's come in here and start getting this just a little bit darker here. I'm going to start working on down here on the top of his mouth as well. Don't want that super white. Just going to come in here like this, go across. See that? Do a little bit under here. See that? And blend it down. See that? It's down and that way. Now, there are some of these ridges here, so this is what we're going to start doing, but I want to do something real quick for you first. So you can come in here like this. Bring these down like this. See that? Look at that. That really brings it to life. See that? You can do something like that. You see that? I like that. Then what we'll do at the end, I'll do a little bit here. I'm going to come like this. I'm just going to outline like that, okay? So I just wanted to show you what this is, what we're trying to do. And we might not be completely done with that yet. But what we want to do now is we want to try to make, see these little indentations? We want to start working on this. Now remember, where's our light coming from? This way. So this depends on, I mean, it could be beside each other, could overlap a little bit. I'm still going to treat it like this. See that? I'm going to treat it to where there's a shadow there and we're going that way. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Just going to keep going until I get the desired transition. You see that? Then we can come up here. Maybe this one goes up a little bit more, right? And press a little bit harder, and then light that way. See that? Just need to take your time. That's all. This is no reason to rush. This could be, come up like this. Maybe there's more of a gap here, you know? Come in here like this. See that? It's whatever you want to do. Okay, then we're gonna come in here. Again, it's this right here. Coming in here. You can do that. It's easier to do it that way if you want. Just see that? Going from dark to light. Now maybe that's more dark there. You see how it blends in from the shadow there? And you can come in here like this. See, I'm using the point, make a real thin line. See that? Now remember, we're light over here, so I can't go that dark. I'm gonna go a little bit. Pressing very lightly. Just gonna do a little bit. Keep going, you keep putting more and more pencil on it. If you're patient with yourself, you get a better result. You know, most people are gonna wanna press real hard. But if you take 20 seconds here, we can get what we want. You see that? It's starting to look like something. And then maybe we do one more here, right? Let's just do something like that. And we'll just put a little bit. See that? See that? So let's let that like that for now. Let's see what we can do up here. Why don't we start laying in some of this now? Let's start outlining this and see where it takes us. Okay? So we can come in here like this. We want to fine tune this stuff, right? What we want to do. See how nice it is to these are nice and crisp lines, clean, dark, because we didn't outline it first and then color it with colored pencil. We did the colored pencil first and then we did that. Now you can keep this as the same thickness throughout like that, or you can come in here and do these kind of cartoon type, like that, thicker and thinner variation. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to come across, just start laying in some of this, like this. See that? And we could do that too. Let's fine tune this a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to come in here now. We didn't do these eyes yet. Let's do that. See that? That's all we're doing. Little circles. I might actually come in here and make these a little bit darker here. See that? Let's make these pop a little more. See, what we can do here is we can actually come in here. It's a little darker if you want. I like that. See that? Yeah, like that. We come in here. Now, remember this. That's what we're going to do here. So, if if it's overlapping like this, it's going to be darker in here. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to take my, I'm going to go like this. See that? That's what we're doing. See that? We're just, this is the fun part. This is the easy part. Just take it as you come this way. Excuse me. As you're coming this way, you're lighter on the pencil, right? See that? Now, since the light's coming this way, that's why I left this light, because if that's behind and not completely beside, then the light's gonna, you're able to see that. But up here, we're just gonna play around, see what we can do here. I'm gonna leave a very little amount of light on the top there. I'll let some, because the light could be, some light could be coming from that, right? So it just depends, reflected light. Or light from somewhere else. There's multiple light sources. You see that? I'll come in here and I'm going to darken this a little bit more. One more pass on here and see where we're at. See that? I'm liking how this is coming together. Again, it's just layering and just practice. You know, practice on something small like this first before attempting something like this. And then you can really gauge and learn little things, because that's all this is. This right here, if you can master this, I know you could do this. It's mastering little things. Again, the goal of this channel is to try to show you how to do things that are, you know, for the beginner. Now, could I come on here and draw a hyper-realistic eye and all that, like a sea lion? Sure, I could. But I really want to show what's within the reach for the average person. And yes, eventually you could do that, but right now, let's start with some things like this that are within reach if you learn a few basic things like this, right? So now we got to step back and say, okay, what else can we do? Maybe you want to change this up a little bit. Maybe there's one fold in here or something that's maybe a little bit darker like this, right? So let's just try that. Now I'm pressing a little bit harder. You could just come in here like that. You see that? Maybe you want to make this a little bit darker down through here. Come on up. See how this is kind of blending up. See that? You can do whatever you want. Whatever you can think of. See that? Maybe I want to make this a little bit darker. Right? So I'm going to put some more over here. Maybe back up here too. And that'll make that white pop a little more too. You see that? All right, so what can we do now? Well, we got to take a look at it, and you got to ask yourself, are you happy with the transitions? You know, maybe you want to come in here and make some of this, maybe you want to make these over here lighter, but over here maybe a little more subtle of a highlight, right? Maybe you want to come in here and make this, which I think this might be a good idea. Come in here and make this darker because his mouth is here. You want to make this a little bit darker. You got to try to evaluate it and think, is there any way I can enhance this, right? And if you don't know, that's fine. But let's see what we can do here. If there's anything we can do here. See if this makes a difference. And you don't know, you don't try, right? There's nothing wrong with, you see how this is darker here and then there's some light. That kind of breaks it up. I like that. You see that? Just lines, transition. And this right here, we could even do a little more here. Maybe make this a little bit darker, right? See that? Maybe make a little more of a transition here. See that? Maybe make that a little bit darker. Again, we're not pressing too hard. You can come in here and clean this up a little bit. See that? So there's a lot of things you can do. You could even come in here and if you want to do the same thing here. See that? Maybe do a little more blending. See that? A little bit there. Could even blend this up a little bit. Some imperfections here. See that? So you have that. Now, the last thing you could do is I would probably take this brown and you could experiment on here. If you have that section drawn, you could come in here and say, do I want to put some of this burlap look on there? You could try that. So I think I might try it. Maybe put a little bit of some lines on here, just to see, right? Using the fine point, the edge, real sharp edge. Let's see here if we can see that. Doesn't look bad. Try it down here. Right, come in here like this. And if you don't like it, then you know not to do it for the next time, right? See that? You don't have to do it everywhere. Just a little bit. Your eye's going to make it run together. That doesn't look too bad. And you could even do it up here. Again, the sharp point, this part, because your pencil point, mine is on an angle like that. So I could come in here, maybe make some curved ones. See that? You could do that. And then you could say, okay, is there anything else that I want to do? I mean, I'd probably let it like that, but what you could do, maybe come in here and clean this up a little bit. Maybe you want the light here, but you don't want it up here. So you could actually come in here really lightly. Start on one of these. See if you like it. See that? So we're getting rid of the light on the top. See that? Let's try it again. Let's just get rid of that. Maybe you want to try that. Leave a little bit right there. We can actually clean this up a little bit. See that? I like that. And sometimes you can play around with this too much. But I would say I'm pretty pleased with that. The first time drawing this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Play around, practice. You know, the other thing you can do, you can come in here and clean these lines up if you want. I think everything looks pretty decent for now. But well, what you could do here is you could actually bring this around just a little bit. See that? Yep. Other than that, I think we did all right. So hopefully you learned something. Until next time, take care.